So, in today's class, we are going to talk about the case study, or you can call it as a project, which is the 4010 to 5010 conversion and how it worked, what kind of a BRD was written. Okay, I understand that you guys have just prepared based on the discussion and based on the overview which was shared during the training. But the actual business requirement document will be way detailed as compared to what you will deliver. But the purpose of having you deliver this business requirement document is to make sure you self-correct the issues on your document and also understand the concepts of what information has to be given at what point, what information you are going to write where. So that's the overview of why you have to do this exercise. So that's for your own good, so that when you are going to write the business requirement document for the first time at your job, it doesn't feel like that, okay, you are going to do the business requirement document for the first time. So it's very important that you spend time on that, research about the information, try to digest the information, and then take it forward. Now, as part of this particular document, I understand that the 4010 to 5010 conversion guide, the 5010 implementation guide is a very big document. So you won't be able to spend time or give that level of details in your business requirement document. So if you have taken any piece of information from there, that is also accepted. But now I am going to review your work, okay, and everyone's work needs to be reviewed in the open forum so that we get to know what exactly you guys are making a mistake, where exactly is the struggle point for each and everyone, okay. So if you are feeling shy about it, if you are not very comfortable about it, then make yourself comfortable about this, because this is how it works, and you will not get this opportunity at your job upfront. So if you are not feeling good, then that would be really difficult for you to take it like that, okay? So let's move on, and let me ask this. Who want to go first? Let me see who can do that. Anyone? See, you all are asking me the same question. You all are struggling. Okay, good one, Surya. Okay, so let's hear, guys. Please, if you have any question while reviewing the document, and if you feel that you can contribute or you can add something related to the details, then you should do that. Because the reason why we are doing it, because we want to make sure that this particular information, everyone get it in a same way. So that is what the purpose of this session, okay? So it is kind of a meeting. On top of that, it is a practical session where you are going to learn how you are going to do it. So I'm going to unmute Surya and make you presenter, Surya. So please feel free to share your screen.
Okay.
And we all get. Okay. Do not worry. You same page. Okay. You all are asking the same question from me, whether you are asking offline or whether you are asking publicly, but you all have same question. So do not hesitate. No one should have it.
Shall I just email you, so and then you can read it, and or shall I read it, or what shall I do?
No, you have to read it and then you have to move on. It may take today's class complete and the next class also, but I have the business requirement ready, which I will show you.
Okay, I started from those points you gave us. Started from objective. What I wrote in objective, to be compliant with HIPAA rule and regulation and stay legal in the industry.
Surya,
okay or not?
Just hold on. Hold on. Can you share your screen, whatever document you have prepared?
Oh, how do I share my screen, please?
On the right hand side, do you see the panel where you have mute, unmute, everything is there? On the right hand side, when you join, there is a pop-up on the right hand, right? Go to meeting, where you have file, option, view, all these things. Below
Oh,
that there is play button which says show my screen.
Under green button there is a play sign. Is that what it is?
Yes, it says show my screen, right? Click on that.
Oh, okay. Then,
Yeah,
okay.
great. See, we all are doing the same thing. Good job. Surya,
Yes?
go on.
Oh, so shall I read it now or?
Yes, please.
Oh, I wrote in the number 1, I wrote objective to be compliant with HIPAA rule and regulation and still legal in the industry. I don't know what to write more than this.
Go on.
And the number 2, in order to enhance the company I was thinking of, I live nearby Emory Hospital, and I was thinking of Emory, here in Atlanta. And then in order to enhance Emory's sustainable growth in all sectors of our organization happily, Emory has to comply with HIPAA rules and regulation.
Great.
It is our legal industry responsibility to.
Okay, you have a small correction to make. You have 10 have written.
It's just a draft version. Maybe it is not appropriate to read it all. Something is covering here. I couldn't read it.
That's just a number mistake. Nothing. So the information perspective, you are doing pretty good so far. But from the numbering perspective, just make it as a 40-10, not 10-40.
Oh, okay.
4010.
This time, because I realize I should create something by myself, I wouldn't get shy. Then tomorrow I will be in my work, then no one will help me. I have to be pure and authentic. That is why I try not to look the template and the documents you were putting in the Google Drive. Only
And that is a good
class,
that is a very good approach, because unless you try to give your best, okay, you can replicate anyone's work anytime you want, but just really great. Okay.
I haven't, I'm halfway, I haven't really finished it, so.
Okay, no issues. You can complete it. So, okay, so now who is next going to share that? Someone? Come on. You want me to point it? Okay. So, let's see what Asiful have to present. Asiful?
Well, I have not finished yet. I have just started. I thought I have to present it on Sunday.
Okay. Sunday we do not have the class, right? I need to check the schedule, but anyhow. Okay, so you haven't done it. No issues. Okay, Mani, I will make you a presenter. Go on, Mani. I thought I did that. Hold on. Sorry if I didn't do it. Sorry. Yeah. Now you are all set.
Hello? Okay, do you
Go
hear
on.
me?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what I did was I didn't know, I mean like I knew where to begin, but I didn't know what the body would be. So I just gave a name to the title, Data Reporting Changes Between Version 4010 and 5010 Electronic Claim Transaction. It's a business required document. It's a business requirements document. Just a second.
So Mani, just one small request, okay?
Yeah.
When you are explaining this detail, go as much as detail you can go.
Oh,
Okay, so even though it's not documented in the document, that's fine. What I want to understand is conceptually how clear you guys are, okay?
Okay.
And whatever it is, end of the day, we are going to review the document. And if I see anything which needs to be improved, any support needs to be given, I will do it then and there. But end of the day, we all will review the documentation. Okay? So move on.
So I give a title to the document, and just by like who made the document and the date and the revision number, because it's just an initial draft, so there is a 0.01 to that. And the table of contents, I try to copy it from the template that you shared, but it did not come out like the way I wanted it to. It's just like a little off thing.
Because that's a PDF document.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought it would be like a little better. And then I have the document information for this particular business requirement document, specifically about like the project identification, about who the sponsor is, who else is working on it, who the project manager is, just in case like who to look for in case their questions arises. So, and then finally, I think this would be the last stage, or I would say, to my understanding, it would be like every time when you do the version, I think it's the document approval. I think that is how it goes. So,
Right.
And then the revision history, because this is just initial, so you would only see one column here. So as you go on and then like you revise it, there will be like 0.01 and then 0.02, 0.03, and so on and forth.
Right.
And this is just a distribution list. This is just a distribution list about like who else is sharing this, who else is being shared this document to, so for inputs and things like that, or more or so like I think it would be the stakeholders or the people working with these documents. And the references, I think I would do the references at the end of the project, or as I finish up with my work, because I would have it a rough reference, but then like I would put in references and customize it at the end. So I didn't work on the references.
That's
right
fine.
now.
That the one reference you can think upfront is the implementation guide for the
Yes.
50. It will be referred, which will be referred for this particular business requirement document. So that's something you want to add it.
Right. Okay. I'll do that.
Okay. Go on.
So followed by where is number one? Oh, this should be number one, I believe. Executive summary. I do not know why I gave number two, but executive summary is like a single line of like what the business requirement document is about. So this is about business requirement document for data reporting changes between 4010 and 5010 electronic claim transaction.
Now let me.
Sorry, go ahead.
Why do you say the data reporting changes? Are you just going to write the requirement with reference to the reports changes, or you are going to write a requirement for the overall 5010 implementation?
I say that because the format that we are given was like 4010A to 5010, and then like it showed all the changes, it highlighted all the changes that 5010 had in comparison to 4010. So that is why I choose this sentence.
No, is here, if you are talking about just the data reporting, if you use the terminology like a data reporting, that means you are very particular about that, okay, this requirement, this business requirement document is only about the reports which gets generated internally, okay, in the industry.
Right.
Okay, so you need to really be caution over here what you phrase it. So it's not just data reporting, it's the overall 5010 implementation which will impact reporting as well as one of the modules.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. And the background to this work is because there is a transition going on. I mean, I would read it rather. The transition of 4010 to 5010 by, I just gave a date because I was not sure, has been mandated by the government to healthcare organizations, both institutional and professional. I did the institutional, yeah.
Please correct the date.
Yeah.
It's 1/1/2013. That has to be right when you are writing this, because you are going to use it on a resume or somewhere. If you are going to use it, you should know what exactly the date. It's 1/1/2012.
12, right? Yeah.
Yes, 12.
Yeah, later on I found the date and then like I corrected down here, but
that's fine.
Yeah. So this is a mandated this is a mandated format. So by this date, so it has to be implemented. So that's the background to it, and the objective being why 5010. The objective of this project is to define, identify, and record the changes between the existing 4010 format to 5010 format. This will be useful in filing the adjudication in 5010 format when the 5010 format goes live in January 1, 2012. And what does the 5010 encompasses is 5010 accommodates new business needs that were not necessarily identified in or later identified once 4010 was already implemented. And 5010 eliminates inconsistencies in reporting requirements, mandated compliance deadlines, all transactions sent after January, and also we should this project is of value because after the deadline, people using 4010, the system would not accept 4010 any longer. It has to be converted and send it through 5010, and that is the only way it would be industry-wide, I believe. And it must be able to send and receive only. Yeah, that's the point on why we are doing the objective of why the conversion and why we are working on 5010 so aggressively. So.
Absolutely correct. So far so good.
The glossary, those are the things that I would be using in my project, short like abbreviations and things like that, and so these are terms and definitions to that. Scope. There are like two scopes, or in scope and out scope. In scope is something something that can, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Just for everyone, okay, the way Mani has chosen some specific segments, okay, just he has reduced the scope of the overall 5010 implementation just for the ease of writing the business requirement document, okay. So here he has chosen that, okay, the claims 1000A, B, and 2300, okay. So he has taken the particular loop and he is going to lay out that all the information related to these loops. So you have your way to write the business requirement document. So just to precise on the size of the requirements, it's very important that you choose how far you want to go and how big requirement you want to write. So it's up to you. So far, well done. Go on, Mani. Mani? 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 Mani, are you guys able to hear me? Okay, so I think we have lost Mani here. Let me just quickly check. I guess, yes, we have lost him. Okay. So, okay, in the meanwhile, we are waiting for Mani. Let's see who else want to go on. See, this document doesn't have to be completed by you guys, but I just want to see how far you have gone with this work. So, Mani? Mani, is that you? Okay, we have lost him, seems like. Yeah, he's showing as a offline. Okay, so Jay, would you like to go on? Jay?
Hello?
Yeah? Okay. So what about Sandeepa?
Hello?
Yeah?
Shushmita, I'm sorry. I haven't, due to my personal reasons, I couldn't do anything.
Okay, not an issue. Okay, so if you guys have not done yet, then let's move on and see how far we can go. Okay, so I'm going to go over the business requirement document with you guys. Okay, but I just wanted to give a few minutes to Mani because he was asking a lot of questions around that, but as I see, his business requirement document has came out pretty good, and I think that he should know. So I'm taking the presentation back. Okay, so now before I go on and start up explaining the business requirement document to you guys, I just want to understand what exactly the struggle point you guys have. Okay, I see that Surya also started pretty well. Okay, and the pace he has taken, the way he is moving, that is also appreciated. So Surya, well done, I would say that. And that kind of enthusiasm I look forward from all of you guys. Okay, I understand everyone has some issues. No, we all do. Okay, end of the day, life is like that. But on the other hand, we need to make sure that we are able to make some progress, because at the end of the day, this training will be over, and if you are not able to spend that much time, then it will be very difficult for you guys to get hands-on experience on these topics. So first of all, let's start up. I know Jay also was asking a lot of questions. Okay. How to write a requirement on the changes? Okay, hold on. There is a question from Sandeepa. Write a requirement on the changes if you can give some example. Okay. No, we are going to review the complete business document, okay, for this particular project. Okay, and then, okay, that's okay, Vani. We thought so because you started showing offline. I'm going to make you presenter and then see. So the question is for Sandeepa. Sandeepa, so far are you able to follow Mani's business requirement document? How to write it? Okay, good. Okay, Mani, go on. I made you presenter. Now you can share the document. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on.
Hello? Hello?
Yep.
Hello? Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
go
so
on.
sorry. Okay, and I was down here. Okay, yeah, and you were saying something about scope, and I lost you right there. So what I did was with in scope and out of scope is out of scope is like something that would not I mean something that would not be in account to what our work is right now, and in scope is something that would directly be affected by what our work is right now. So for institutional 837I claims, I mean like I was doing the 1000A and 1000B, and I was about to do the 2300 as well, but I did not get that far. Had changed in a meaningful way in recording the information. Claim submitter EDI, electronic data information, is impacted, and membership application changes with the new 5010 format. So that is our in scope, and out of scope would be no changes in the payments and prices, and there will also be no changes in the contract of the provider, in between the contract of the provider and the institution.
So contract of the providers or contract of the professional and the institutional providers?
I think, yeah, that would be the right way. I think I would say professional, institution,
so
and the provider.
All these bullet points, okay, whatever corrections we are making, that will help you. So when you're revising your document yourself, then you can see whether those things are corrected or not. Okay, go on.
And similarly on the template, there was, I mean, the business process impact, and just carry on. I mean, I couldn't fill up much on those, and the data, name of interest.
As I said, the data and all these segments are not, it's kind of an optional.
Yeah.
If you have it, put it. If otherwise, it's not a required field. Okay, so you can take those things.
Okay, as we need or as we do not need. Okay, and
Right.
and then it would be assumptions and dependencies and constraints. These are the places, like only places like where there would be any figures. I would figure. I mean, in a way, there would only be there would be like flow charts or anything that if we need to show for our projects. Assumptions are assumptions like you said, like just to share the work. I just assume that like, okay, all the fields in 5010 are identified. So, and the dependencies are payment is out of scope and claim is getting impacted. So payment system is in turn affected. So, and the constraints for this is like, I did not set a timeline for this. However, the constraint for this can be like, okay, can I finish the project within this given time, given amount of time, and depending on so that might be one of the constraints for this project. But for that, I think I should have set up a timeline for my projects. The other would be like the business. Oh, then the bread and butter of this project, the business requirements. Okay. I honestly did not have any idea of what I was doing. I talked to Sandeepa, and she actually did help me with how to go about a business requirement. So business requirements, what I did was just identify the groups, I would say. Yeah. The GS, and whatever the changes are in the GS, I put them in one numberings, and similarly the STs in one numberings, and I just recorded like what was changed from 4010 to 5010, and what other thing that I wanted to record over here in the requirements is like, who is it being impacted to, either the provider or what information is being changed. I wanted to record that, but it was just I was just so overwhelmed with like, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? So
you are doing a good job. So far, you are on the right track. So far, there is no issues.
So that is how I went on. 8.1 is like for GS functional group header. There was only one subset, so that is 8.1.1. And similarly, 8.2 I put in for transaction set header. There was a change from 4010 to 5010 with a number, with a minimum to maximum being, I think. I think this was like conversion, yeah, to 35. and the other one was beginning of hierarchical transaction. There were two changes from 4010 to 5010, so I recorded it as 8.3.1 and 8.3.2. And I was going down with 1000A. This is where I think, this is how I think you mentioned it, because I went back to your lecture and you said you wanted it with like 1000A and 2300 and then 2000, something like that, and then have everything under the 1000 or whatever loop it is under that particular numbering. So
yeah, so this is more structured way of representation of the data. That's very good.
And I was carrying down, and then like I was trying to, like, I could not get to 2300. That was way down, and use cases, and I didn't get much on use cases anyway. So business rules, if there are any rules are like preconditions, I believe, which are already preset for the project. And
so how it works? Let's see, there is one business requirement, and that business requirements can have multiple rules. Okay, I'll tell you something. I'll give you an example. Let's say in a real-time situation, if I ask you to, okay, let's take in this way. You have a yahoo.com, okay, a simplest example. When you go to yahoo.com, now we all see the, open the yahoo.com. You just open a browser.
Oh, okay.
Now there, if you see, let's say on the right side, you see trending now on the right hand side. You see there?
Yep.
Let's assume this was not here earlier. So this panel was empty. There was nothing over here. Now what is happening is that, okay, Yahoo wants to add this panel, and that is a new requirement. That is a new project. Okay. So now when you have this a new project, you can have multiple requirements over here. Like right now, I just do two requirements up front. Number one requirement, you see watch the show. There's just next, it's watch the show, and the next one below that you have just all the links, right?
Right.
So how you will write the requirement? You will write the requirement about that. Okay, yahoo.com is a web page. Okay, this is whole is a web page. On this web page, you are going to have this particular area added on the right hand side of the site panel. You all on the same page? Okay, that's number one requirement, that Yahoo page needs on the right hand side of the panel, we need to add this particular trending now requirement. Okay, number two requirement. Inside this frame, this is one kind of a frame. Inside this frame, we need to display watch the shows, and then we need to list down the latest shows which are available. So right up front, we have three requirements. Considering these three requirements, when you click on watch the show, just click on watch the show. So on a high level, you have how many requirements? Three requirements. Okay. Under that requirement, you can have multiple rules. What are the rules? The rules could be when someone clicks on that particular watch the video link. Number one, on the left hand side, it should, that what you see, the menu item should appear. That's number one rule. Number two rule, that the page should have some kind of a flash player where you can display or watch the videos. Okay, that's number two rule. Number three rule, on the right hand side, you want to display some kind of a thumbnail for the different videos. That's a number four rule. Now all these four rules are for one requirement, and that one requirement is go back. Just click on the back button. So all these 4 requirements are for one click, and that click is what? That click is one requirement for you, right? Because you said that you are going to display the right hand side trade now button should display the links of the video. So that is your rule. So, that is your requirement. So you need to make sure that always multiple rules combined together can achieve one requirement. That's the difference between the requirement and the rules. Okay,
But then I have a question. So like when you're writing requirements, just like in this project, we have like a bundle of requirements. So let's say 8.1.1 would have like rules, like maybe so rules. There will be a lot more rules than the requirements.
That possibility is there, and also it's not necessary that your one rule will be tied up with one requirement. You can have one rule tied up with multiple requirements.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how it is. So if you implement this, let's say you have 5 rules listed down. Let's say if you implement those 5 rules, then it is going to achieve 2 requirements. Okay, so you need to link that each rule is associated with business requirement 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's just one. That kind of a linkage is required. So for every rule, you need to link the requirement. That rule is linked with which business requirement bullet point.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, Surya, it's an action which triggers. That's right. You got it right. Go on.
Yeah. So that was about the business rules and the user groups. So I think these are all the user groups within the business within like who is working on the document, I believe.
User group is something that the user groups have a different meaning. Means customer service is one user group, provider area is another user group. Right? It's kind of a group which have a specific similar kind of a work which they do. So you could have a provider contracting or a provider customer service, member customer service. These are different type of user groups. So you can identify the number of users getting impacted by that particular user group. So you can have that, okay, provider area, let's say you have 50 customer service representatives. They all will be impacted by that. On the other hand, you have member customer service representative, but there is no impact from that side. Then what? Then the member service representative have no impact even though there is a count. Okay, so that's what it is. Again, this particular thing is optional, but if you have it, that means you have very detailed information about the project.
Okay. So all the projects would need user groups, or it also depends again. It also again depends on.
Depends. Okay. So this whole user group area itself is not mandatory. Okay.
Right.
It's not a mandatory area. It is kind of an optional area. So if you do not have it in your business requirement document, nobody is running after you.
Okay.
That's okay.
And
It's
then
a nice
sorry.
must have.
Right.
Go on.
And then we have the acceptance criteria of like this. I cannot describe what it, but I didn't get this. And
Okay.
the current is sorry. Yeah.
Acceptance criteria is something where when you are launched, see, think about it. The Yahoo project example which we gave, right? In that, what is the acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria is that yahoo.com homepage should have that right panel populated with trending now. That is the acceptance criteria number 1. Number 2 criteria, when user clicks on that link, it should go to the next page. Whatever is that next page. That is number 2 acceptance criteria. Number 3 acceptance criteria is that they are able to watch there is a flash player and they are able to watch the video over there. That is number 3 acceptance criteria. So you have whatever is your requirement, moreover that folds up under the acceptance criteria. So in 5010, whatever is changing, let's say if you are saying that, okay, submitter ID is changing, for example. Okay, so let's say submitter ID is changing from 10 digit to 12 digit. I'm just hypothetically giving you an example. So your acceptance criteria, or you can just, if you have too many requirements, you can say that all the requirements must be achieved and tested thoroughly for this particular enhancement to be accepted. So you covered everything then.
Right.
Okay, so it's more over just enforcement on the users, enforcement on the IT to make sure they get everything right and it gets tested thoroughly.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Right, thank you, thank you. And the future state, I just got that from your lecture notes because you said those were important, and I think I might have, later on I realized I think I might have this already up in the template, like up to like 7 number or somewhere. So, and the glossary is just a glossary of like, of what we used, and appendices is like any notes or any figures that we need to put in, or references, not references like quoted references, but anything that we need to go back and hyperlinked to appendices. So.
Okay, so yeah, so a big hand for Mani, if you have done a great job.
You're making me feel more nervous now.
Really, I'm saying that in first shot, very few people are able to deliver these type of documents. So as a first shot, the outcome of the document is really good, So if you go in detail, you read more and more about it, you will enhance your document, okay? And just imagine, this is just your presentation, just your thought. You will have 10 people who will be feeding you with the requirements. You will have 20 people who will be giving you a requirement. So just imagine how you will put together the thought. So I'm very proud that you are my student, So that's really.
Thank you.
So you will do good, don't worry. And you all will do good, guys. It's just a matter of time that you have not started. That's why it is, okay? Now let me ask Preeti. Preeti?
Yes, actually, I'll definitely do next week.
So, sorry Preeti, I didn't hear you.
I couldn't do my homework.
Okay.
But I will definitely try to do next week, and I can present it next week for sure.
See guys, all of the homework will be reviewed in the class. So if you are sending me offline, that's good, no issues. But you must have a way to share that and keep your headphone, keep your machines ready for the presentation. So whenever, maybe next class or maybe next to next class, we must review everyone's work, okay? And that's for your own good, okay? Because the more detail we go, we will be able to understand how far we are able to correct our stuff, okay? Unless we finish up reviewing everyone's work, I am not going to disclose the business requirement document, even though you are seeing it just in front of your screen, okay? So it's kind of, okay, if you do it, you get it. If you don't do it, you don't get it. That's a trick, okay? That's how you will work. So it's a hard way of getting a business requirement document. That's how I see it, okay? Just kidding. I just want you guys to do and try your best and then see. Feeding with the spoon is very easier for me, okay? But then what is the gain? What I am going to get? Nothing. So it's very important that you guys try first, then review the document, and then that's how we take it forward from there. Now, today I am going to teach something very important, and that has to do with the business requirement document, so that you all understand how it works, okay? And also what is and how do you track the project, okay? So we are going to talk something about, okay, let me just quickly open up the Excel document, and then we are going to talk about this, how a IT project is tracked closely and what are the things we do as part of it. So there is something called RTM, okay? What it is? Requirement traceability matrix. All these things you would have learned as part of a BA training. But I have to, how many of you have already gone through this topic? Anyone? Okay. Okay, so you guys have gone through. So Sundeepa, I want you to elaborate what exactly RTM is all about.
Yeah, Shishmita, I don't remember. Traceability matrix. We have done it, but I don't remember what exactly it is.
Okay, so okay, no issues. Let's check Surya.
Hello. Yes.
Yes.
It is. Hello.
Yes, go on.
Yes. We had a class this afternoon at 12 to 12 o'clock, and then it went about RTM. And as far as I can remember and understand, it is all about how would you know 100% the software is tested, the product is tested.
Mm-hmm.
Then this is a matrix. You go through it, then make sure that all the testing methods are applied. In conclusion, then it makes sure that it is 100% tested.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So that is absolutely correct. So how do you track that?
Okay, by using this this matrix.
Okay. So what information goes in the matrix?
Okay. This matrix, as far as I can remember, and she.
Give a try.
Oh.
Okay. No issues, Surya. Okay, don't struggle that much. That's okay.
Okay. All right.
Mani?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go on, Mani.
I think requirement traceability matrix is how the requirements when it comes from the stakeholder is traced to the deliverables. So there should be a connection to whatever the stakeholders bring in and whatever we are giving to them. This should be like a compliance to, I mean, it's not just our understanding, but it should be like what they want and what they are getting. So I think there is some way to trace it. I do not know the matrix, how it is traced, but I think that is as it says, requirements traceability matrix. So whatever is coming, if they want like product A equals to B, so whether or not are they getting a product A equals to B, there is a way to test it, and that is how we do it, I think.
Okay, yeah. So you all, on a high level, you all are on the same page, and you all do accept that it is very much important for any software to be successful, any enhancement to be successful. We need to track what the requirement was given and what was the deliverable, and how did we assure the testing of it from the quality perspective. Okay, so let's see how do we do it. Okay, so you have serial number, how the format will go. Okay, then your business requirement, BR number, and then your That's the business requirement description. Then you have the BR author. Next what? Anyone? Okay. So then you have come down to, no, the stakeholder details doesn't come under the requirement traceability matrix. Then it would be functional requirement number, functional requirement description, then it will be FR author. Okay, what next? Then you have the high level requirement, which is your design perspective, okay? HLR number, HLR description, and then the author, high level requirement, okay? Or you can call it as, see, the industry uses some different terms. You can say HLD, for the ease of it, high level design, okay? You HLD, or you can have LLD, okay? Most of the time you just use one. Either case, the document outcome comes down to be same. So you don't see the difference in the actual deliverable perspective. Serial number. And the BR number is the business requirement number. So this is just the countdown, like how many you have. Okay? That's what it comes down to. And this will be like, okay, this will again have the same numbering, okay, the 1, 2, or maybe you could have BR 1.1, BR, so you could have something like this, okay, BR 1.1, or it will start from 0 actually, 0, see. And I'll explain. So I'm not writing the text over here. So this is just dummy data, what we are using it. You can't use the dash, so you just have to use something else. Who want to be the author? Who will be the author from our class? Today the credit goes to, okay, J is our author for the business requirement, okay? Now functional requirement document, okay? So this is FR 1.1, okay? Let's see, okay? See, when you are writing the F, you could have something like this, okay? Then you have FR 1.4, FR 1.4, FR 1.0, something like this. Okay. Then this is just your dummy placeholder. We are not completing it. Okay. Leave this part. Let's first complete over here. So now this is HLD author. Is there anything else we need to write it, or are we done? Okay. See, so far if you logically try to apply it, you will think that we haven't added everything and we haven't added more information and tracked more information to make sure that the product is in line with what the requirement was. So we have business requirement document, okay, after that we have the technical requirement. See, I'll tell you how this is. These three, BRD. These three, BRD. Something is wrong. So, these three. So now you will understand from where all the numbers are coming. TRD is your technical requirement document. I just want to take some light color so that we can read it. Jay, is that what you were asking? TRD is technical requirement document. Okay. Now, so here what you will do, you will write test case number, test case description, then you will have test case author. So, now, if you see, let's fill out some of the details, okay? Now, you have the author, let's put Surya, okay? Surya is the author for all this. High-level requirement, we are doing a high-level requirement and we are trying to put together all the information here, and we will again put the numbering as SLR 0.1, something like this. We did the numbering. So at what point do we do this document after business requirement document? Okay, so how that goes, okay? When you create, let me first finish up and then I will answer your question, okay? Now once you have this, then we have put the information that, okay, whatever is the description, we put the description here, okay? Give a nice look to the document that physical representation of the data is very important. So we put together the, okay, now the author, let's say Preeti, don't be offended by if it doesn't come, your name doesn't come up. Whoever comes to my mind, I just put their names, okay? Test case or test case 1. So we just filled out this information and we type it off. And then let's say, anyone? Come on, don't remember anyone's name. I have so many. Okay, let me just see who is there. Okay. Asif. Let's put Asif. Okay. So we got our requirement traceability matrix completed. But how can we have this document completed at the first shot? That's the question. How to answer that question? See, to understand that, what you need to do is, see here, this particular piece of information will be filled out at the time of business requirement document. Okay? Now, the next piece of the information, so once you complete the business requirement document, you are going to complete this document and send it across to the technical team who is going to do the technical requirement document. Okay? So you complete the business requirement document, then create this template and fill this piece of information. Okay? And send it across. So this piece of information is ready by your business requirement document. Next, when your technical requirement team is working on the technical requirement document, they are going to prepare the technical requirement document and they are going to work on this side piece of information, and these two will get populated side by side. Okay? So that's how these two information will get populated for your business requirement document and your technical requirement document. Okay? Once your technical requirement document gets populated, then what? Then your design team, when they are doing the design, they are going to fill this piece of information on the side of your design document. So high-level design or low-level design, whichever that design document is getting developed, they are going to fill out this information. What they are tracking is that, okay, for BR1, which is the technical requirement document, which will be one-on-one match, to make sure whatever is written over here, for that they have a technical solution. That's what it is. Same the design team is going to do. Design team is going to look at the technical requirement document and align it in their design document to make sure it's a one-on-one match. If anything is missing, then there is a problem. And that problem can be identified way ahead of time when they are working on that design, when they are working on the technical requirement document. Okay? So they don't have to wait for the actual completion of the deliverables. They are going to just work on this way ahead of time, because the documentation phase is advanced as compared to your actual implementation. So when they are doing the documentation, that means after they are done with this documentation, then only they are going to write the code. So it's very important that to identify any ambiguity in their work or any type of errors, any type of skipped requirements, they can catch it through this document. Okay? So when they are done with the design, after the TRD is ready, the tester starts working. So when the TRD is ready, it gets delivered to the QA team. And the QA team is looking at the technical requirement document, and parallelly they are working on all the test cases. So by the time they will receive the design document, their test cases are already developed. So if their test cases are developed, that means they have a test case numbers. So what they need to do they just need to map it from here to here. That's the only thing they have to do it when they receive the requirement traceability matrix. So same way, the way we maintain the version of the business requirement document, in the same manner we maintain the version of the requirement traceability matrix, the RTM. Why we need to maintain that? Just assume that your BR1.0 has some changes. Okay, so something is changing over here. If your business requirement is changing, that means there is a direct impact on your technical requirement document. Okay. There is a direct impact over here. That means this technical requirement document is changing too. Okay? If your technical requirement is changing, there may or may not be a design impact. How come? Maybe the requirement got updated because of the design, but still the design is not updated yet because the TRD was not updated. So all these things going to get updated based on your business requirement update. That is the value of requirement traceability matrix. And that is how you deliver the traceability matrix on the side of each of the deliverable, which is your business requirement document, technical requirement document, design, and the testing. Now ask your question. Anyone? Any question? Okay, Jay, I will unmute you. Go on.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so basically as a BA, we'll do the business requirement document first. Once we complete that, we create this document, everything blank, just a kind of skeleton. We just fill out the BRD, and everything else is filled out by the rest of the team, and we'll email them this document, and it kind of goes back and forth. Or is this in the QC Quality Center or SharePoint?
See, what happens is the way you have a final version of your business requirement document, in the same way you have a final baseline for your requirement traceability matrix too. It's not like that you changing your traceability matrix, otherwise then you are not tracking these numbers right. Okay? It's very important before you send it to the TRD team, this particular document side of the information is 100% correct. Got it?
You broke up the last part. What did you say?
I said, I keep hearing a lot of echo from your side, Jay, so I have just muted you. If you have questions, just ask me. I was explaining that every time you, Surya, I'll come back to you. When you are creating the business requirement document and the RTM, this part, what I have selected, okay, this side of that RTM, okay. At that point, you cannot keep changing this side of the requirement of the RTM, because if you do that, then there is a direct impact over here. So you don't apply this again, you don't update this document again and again unless there is a real update in your business requirement document. Okay? Are you okay? Okay, let me just take another question. Hold on, Surya, I will unmute you. Go on.
Yes, I always I wanted to ask this question already to Mr. Nandu. I never got any context. Without context, I couldn't ask. Okay, this is an integrated question, very integrated. I think in my experience, how I experience. Okay, always there is a growth. There is always a change, technical change, or people are moving, or a new disease is coming, or something going on in the market. Market is rapidly growing overnight, over a month, a year, and then that is how the businesses businesses are trying to compete or adjust with the technology and with the new requirements. That's how they get their businesses. That's how there is a change, there is a need for a business to have a business requirement. Then at the moment the business analyst writes a business requirement recipes, and that leads to functional requirement, non-functional requirement, and that goes to technical requirements, and then this is how everything goes on and on and on. Is that the way or not?
See, that is a very valid point, that the industry keep changing. Yes, that is true. But when the industry is changing, new and new work is coming in the market, but doesn't mean that you keep updating the same document again and again. It doesn't work like that, okay? You update the same, let's assume that the Yahoo project, okay? Let's take it back again, okay? I'm just going to open the browser and I'll explain you how this works. So the Yahoo project which I was talking about, in that project, what happened? In that, so there was one time when, okay, let's open yahoo.com. If you guys would have noticed, Yahoo is not always like this, okay? They keep changing, they keep adding something one way or other. Okay, let's take an example. This Flickr was altogether different application. It was never part of Yahoo. It was separate application. It was running very good. People used to share their pictures and everything like that. Okay, but then later on what happened? Later on, Flickr merged with Yahoo, or maybe Flickr was Yahoo took over Flickr. Something happened because they got into the joint venture at some point of time. So in the first project, when we were talking, we said that, okay, Yahoo wants to add this panel, okay, trading now. So this was the one project. What they did, they completed this project. The moment this was tested and successfully launched, this project was completed. When this got completed, that team, the project team, was deallocated from the project, and now they got assigned to another project. Okay, they are working on another project. Now down the line, after a year or so, they realized that, okay, there is a new need, there is a new demand for another enhancement on the yahoo.com. Okay, what was the new demand? They thought that, okay, I want to show a link for Flickr over here so that when people click on work, as a new application gets integrated by this. So this was the technology demand. This was the technology enhancement. Okay, but they had to do this project, otherwise how they would have included this link over here, and when you click on here, it goes on Flickr. Same thing goes, see, it goes to flickr.com, okay? Same thing. Let me take you back. On Flickr, there are so many functionality. Let's take something which is inside that Yahoo page, okay? So let's take inside the Yahoo, weather was always not there, finance was always not there, sports was always not there. So they keep adding new modules over here. So let's say they added weather. So when they added this all together became a new project for Yahoo. What was the requirement? The requirement was when they click over here, see how the name has changed, okay, because this is a sub-module. So weather.yahoo.com, okay. On top of that, they wanted to display all these headings so that people get, so this is one requirement. Another requirement, there is a sign in and there is an email and there is this setting button, okay. So this is number 2 requirement. Number 3 requirement is on the left hand side, they should have this navigation panel, my location, click to save cities, edit button, around the world. All these things are different settings. So these are all the different, these are one requirement. Then on the center they said that, okay, it should take whatever is the current city or the zip code, and you should be able to, the search bar, moreover, search navigation bar, you should have it. On below that you should have that what is the nearest city where you are and what is the location. It's more about the location details. Then if there is any alert, that alert should be displayed. That is another requirement. Then how is the weather? The weather details, the actual forecast is the another requirement. Okay. Now, see here. This is one requirement. Monthly trend, another requirement. How many months you want to display under the monthly trend, that is one business rule. On the left hand side you have a gallery, that is the another business rule under the monthly trend requirement. See the intensity of the requirement when you are writing up the requirement. Okay. Now, coming back to your question. Okay. So that industry is keep changing, but when you are writing the requirement, so as you see that first requirement which was this requirement, for this the requirement was different, so requirement traceability matrix description was different. Now this is project 1. Project 1. Project 1 for Yahoo trending noise. This is one project. When you are doing another project, this is project 2. Project 2, where the project is your weather yahoo.com. I am just giving you just a very high level name to it. This is another project. So when this is another project, this piece of information is going to change. Okay. When your business requirement is going to change, then it's very obvious that your functional requirement, all this detail is going to change. All this detail is going to change. Now what else, what other things could happen? Other things will maybe here on this requirement J works, but here let's say Mani is working. Okay, Mani worked on this requirement because Mani was allocated to this project. Okay, here Surya worked, but rather than Surya, Sundeepa worked. Okay, so your requirement have changed, your project has changed, your people have changed. Okay, here Preeti was writing the design document, still Preeti is there and she is doing the design document. Here Asif did the test cases, but rather than Asif, Surya did the test cases. Okay, so all these things happens when you have a project. So let me ask now, are you clear now, Surya?
Yeah, I could see the context. Yes, I could see because the root recipes are changes for BA, so then the functional requirements changes and the technical requirements changes. Understood that?
Yes. See, always remember, every project is unique in nature. Every project have a different start and the end date, and every project have a different objective. Okay, that is the feature of a project. That's how project is defined. What is a project? A project which have a different objective, which has its own start and end date, it has its own scope, own acceptance criteria. That is what the feature of a project is. So as you see, the Yahoo trend now have a different functionality, different objective, different people worked on it. On the other hand, the another project for Yahoo, which was the weather forecast, have its own objective, its own design, its own requirement. Okay, and that is what your project is. So maybe the trend now project took 3 months, whereas the weather forecast project is going to take a year for them to develop. This is what the project is. Every project is different in their nature of work. Every project have its own scope and its own timeline and its own forecast that how much time and the money it's going to take. Okay? All set, Surya?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Any other question, guys? Okay. Anyone else? Any question? Okay, hold on. Sandeepa, I'm going to unmute you and take your question. Go on.
Yeah, yeah, you explained it very well. See, because in our BA class, we had a very small topic. It was just a small slide. We were not sure about like how it's going to be. So my question is actually, this is what I understood was that the traceability matrix, as a BA, according to Nandu, if I'm not sure, but this is what he said, I haven't seen a lot of people working on it. So I don't know if I'm saying it right or not, but my question is, in case there is, since you said that, serial number 10, there is a business requirement changes. So in case like, a business analyst, has to refer, or maybe a technical person is referring to any of the requirements. So is he going to refer to serial number, or is he going to refer to his FR number, or maybe HRL number, or maybe HLD authorized, like, one of these numbers? So like basically how will they know that, how will from any other department know that they are referring to that number? Is this only, it's described by the serial number only, or is it like through the business requirement number?
So how this works is, let's assume, okay, in your business requirement document, let me just, I just wanted to showcase something. Come on. Okay, anyhow, in your business requirement document, there is a place where you note down the document history. There is a place where you list down the document history. Document history is what? Means first iteration what have changed, second iteration what is the change, like that. When you are maintaining the document history, that means you are keeping track of all the changes in every version you are making. So let's assume your document is finalized, okay? When your document is finalized, what you are doing it? When your document is finalized, that means now no more changes. The requirement is frozen, approved, everyone agreed to it. But suddenly some changes comes back, and the change is under 1.9. This is where your change is in your business requirement document. So in the history, document history, you are going to say that updated BR 1.9. In the document history, you will put the date that, okay, if you updated 1/4/2013, you are going to say that 1/4/2013 BR 1.9 changed. And then the document will get reapproved, redistributed to the same user group. Once you send it out, everyone is directly going to read about what exactly has changed in that version. Let's say the previous version was 1.0, current version is 1.1. Now what is the change in 1.1? 1.1, the change is BR 1.9. Now the same document, updated, approved, will get received by the technical team. Now technical team is going to see that, okay, what is changing? They will again look at the document history. By looking at the document history, they will know BR 1.9 is changing. Okay, BR 1.9 points to what? FR 0.10. Okay, they will come here and they will update this. Sandeepa will do this update in the technical requirement document, and she will maintain the document history for their technical requirement document, and she will say FR 0.10 updated on XYZ date based on the business requirement document 1.9. So now Sandeepa's TRD document have a document history which is more current, more up to date, and flagged what the changes. Next, when it gets for the design, the designer will look what is changing, what is the document history. That's how the end-to-end tracking happens. Are you clear now?
Yeah.
No, if you are not clear, Sandeepa, you should ask, okay? No matter how many times I have to explain, doesn't matter, okay? So if you are not clear, if you are looking for something very specific, then please go on. I will explain.
Like I got your like how you explained was like going into the history. So basically there is no serial number maintained by the business analyst. That they say that, for example, serial number 10, we are referring to serial number 10, and that this is my requirement number, because according to what you have drafted is like every stage the business requirements goes through their own number. So when it reaches to the testing stage, they also have a different number. So if the tester has a bug, and he will say to the development team that, okay, this is the bug which I'm facing. So the developer is going to see what code. He's going to see his own. He's going to see his own. In his own development thing, right? So basically, my question is that how, like you said, okay, it's history, because I know in future we have to do all this, and so I wasn't clear on this. Still, I'm a little not clear.
And now I will tell you the answer of the question, okay? Maybe you couldn't put together the question, the last piece.
Right.
So what to understand that even though it's a one-on-one matching with the business requirement through the test cases, so let's say if the test case 10 fails, are they going to just look at the HLR 0.10 and fix that? How that fix is going to happen, right? So see, this test case 10, did I got your question right, Sudeepa?
Yeah, but
how do they find out where exactly the problem is? Because the number doesn't hold any value to it. So the point here is, when you are looking at the test case 10, what the test case 10 will say, okay? The test case 10 will be the actual functionality. Let's make one real example, okay? Let's point it here, okay? This is the business requirement. You all agree to it? Now, I'm not getting to the technical requirement and the functional requirement. I will just come over here. Now, over here, what your test description will say. The test description needs to match that. What is the test description? Right frame. So this is your test case description. So this is one-on-one match, right? Now let's assume when you go here, okay, this trending now, it's not coming over here. It's coming over here, for example, and this goes here and this comes down. So it's not coming on the right top, it's coming in the right middle. So the requirement is here, top right frame. It should be displayed. But the actual result, what is happening is it's coming in the middle of the right frame. That's the defect. So, okay, that's a defect. So the QA team reported that defect. So now this have an open defect. And the defect is the trending now. That is the defect. When the when the defect gets reported, then is Preeti going to look into HLR 0.1, or she is going to review everything to make sure that this code is working right according to the specs? what is given over here. Okay, it's not necessarily that even though this is the code which this functionality, this test case is an outcome of this piece of code, but still there could be possibility that what you have in HLR 0.2, what piece of code you have written over here is impacting this and shifting it down. Okay, so it's not necessarily that, okay, how you have mapped. See, this is a requirement traceability matrix. Okay, where you are just making sure that each of the requirement which you have written over here is getting implemented, getting designed, getting tested. Okay, but your defect could be for any reason, for any functionality could lead to this defect. So over there, there is no one-on-one match from the defect perspective. This traceability matrix is to assure whatever the requirement is given over here is getting tested over here. The defect processing, the allocation of the defect, making sure root cause of the defect is outside of requirement traceability matrix that have nothing to do with RTM. The RTM is just to assure that all the requirements are getting implemented. Now let me know if I answer your question or not.
No, I'm clear about it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
So, Shushmita, like as a business analyst, we'll all have to be doing all these, like the business requirement, the matrix. We'll have to make a matrix.
See, I'll tell you something. Okay, the industry is moving very rapidly towards the process management. Okay, so if you have all these things on your profile, there is very big chance of getting your profile picked up by the recruiter. Okay, because some of the companies who are very specific about the processes, they are looking for all these terms in your resume. So if you don't have it, there are chances that you might get skipped. So these are the key things. Logically, a business analyst should know and how to do it if you are asked. So maybe the company, let's assume Aetna, okay? Aetna is looking for some business analyst or a quality assurance analyst. They call us for an interview and they're asking about all these things. Let's say you gave a right answer, but when you join the job, you are seeing that nobody is using that. But now you see the value that why you have to learn it. Even though they are not using it, but they are looking for people who understand that. Okay, so Mark is going very fast on the process management perspective.
Okay, so Shushmita, I have one more question. Does Blue Cross deal with all this right now?
Yes, you asked me. I am with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Okay.
Yeah, that is the reason I'm asking you, because that is what I'm going to target. My company is that is what I'm targeting. But anyway, we'll see where I'm going to go. Okay, all right, I got it. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, Preeti. So do QA need to prepare testing part of the traceability matrix? Yes. So wherever you see the test cases matrix part of the RTM, you have to maintain as a QA. Yes. So see, usually if anyone is doing training through Addiox, all these things are part of our curriculum. These things we train them, okay? But you guys have done BA through somewhere else, and you guys are doing the healthcare through me. So I always feel that if you are a BA or a QA, you must know anything around the deliverables what a business analyst has to deliver. Whether something is nice to have or something is must have, you must know that. It should be in your mind when you go for an interview. Because all these surprises you don't want to deal with, because already you are going to do a big career switch. You know, so that is always a big surprise for you. You never know what is upcoming in the market. On top of that, if you give you just less information, that is not good. So these are the topics you have to be well versed with, because most of the interviews I have seen that the case studies is given to the business analyst, and they have given the piece of paper and the pencil to draw and explain everything. So what we just did is a real-time case studies. You can take it for and how to create a requirement traceability matrix for that. Okay, there is a question from Jay. So there are BA, technical team, design team, and the testing team. That is right. And on top of everyone, you have the users who are the end users. But from their perspective, you don't have anything in the requirement traceability matrix perspective. You don't have. I will put this on the shared drive so that you all have access to it and you all will be able to review it. Okay. Design team is always the technical team because they are the ones who are end of the day going to write the code for the any requirement. Yes. Okay. Any other question?
Shushmita, I have a question. What type of, if we do put this in our resume that we know traceability matrix, like what kind of questions are they going to give us, ask?
See, think about it. Requirement traceability matrix, there are only 2 questions and very open questions. Number 1, what exactly the benefit of this matrix?
Oh, okay.
Number 2 question, how do you do it? Okay. So let's say if I give you the case study about this Yahoo trending thing, how are you going to implement that?
Oh, okay. Okay. Got it.
So these are the 2 key questions you can expect in terms of requirement traceability matrix, or you can say it as a RTM. Always remember the tip for your resume is, tip for your profile is keep the abbreviation short form as well as the full form of it. Because you never know what the recruiter is looking for, because sometimes recruiters are really not aware of what exactly this is. So whatever, if the company is sending as an RTM, they will just start looking as an RTM because they don't know what exactly the RTM is. Okay. If they have given the requirement traceability matrix, then they will look by the keyword requirement traceability matrix. So you want to make sure at any case your resume is picked up. Sometimes the recruiters are very smart. They are well versed with what exactly this document is and they are aware of how to write it and all these things. But sometimes they really have no idea. Okay, so it all comes down to what kind of a person is looking for this. Now coming back to the question, in explaining the RTM, we just say the title of the 4 parts. Jay, I'm not sure if I get your question right. Can you just, I will unmute you, please ask your question.
Yeah, my question was, when they're asking about how to do the RTM, you know, we just explained that, you know, the RTM has 4 parts starting with BRD, you know, going to technical, then testing, then design, then testing, and then we just basically describe it, date it, update it, make sure they're all aligned. They're keeping it very high level without getting into the details for like 10 minutes. That's kind of what I was asking.
No, what the details of the, sorry, last piece I'm missing.
Say it again?
The last piece, what, for some reason you were...
I guess the question I was asking you is that when they ask us one of the 2 questions about the RTM, about how do you do it, in terms of explaining how we do it, what I was thinking is, what I'm thinking, you know, the answer would be is just explain the 4 parts and that, you know, and just every title that we have, like the BRD, I'm fully responsible for that and maintaining the testing, and then I'd go back and forth with the technical and design team, just tracking the different steps. Keeping it very high level and brief when explaining it is kind of...
Absolutely correct. At that point of time, you just have his one-liner statement of requirement, right? So you just want to take that, and based on that, what you want to do is you just want to quickly draw it with the piece of paper and the pencil. Quickly draw this. And just put some dummy data, or 2. You don't have to write it. You have to explain it that, okay, what requirement will come here based on the case study. What functional requirement would be, okay, who will do it based on the TRD, how the design team will fill out all this information, how the testing team will come back with all this information. So these are the things you need to explain. Got it?
Yes, thanks.
Okay, no issues. Any other question, guys? So from our class, the audience which is very quiet, let me ask those who are outspoken. I got their mind level, where they are, how much they process the data. Now I need to understand from the audience who are very quiet, Asiful, Preeti, Surya. You all are on the same page? Surya have a question, which is a good thing. Go on, Surya.
Okay, please, okay, if I'm being asked, my last name is Dakal or Surya, whatever they like to call, they will call. Okay, describe me, are you familiar with RTM, Requirement Traceability Matrix? Okay, require me in 10 words. How do I do this? Okay, 15 words, 20 words. How do I wrap up? How do I answer this question?
Requirement traceability matrix. The requirement which business is providing it enhancement. Traceability. How do you trace on each and every deliverable level? Okay, you are tracing the requirement from BRD to TRD, TRD to design. At the metrics which provide that flexibility to track the is the requirement traceability. Did you get the answer?
So shall I say requirement traceability matrix is all about business requirement documenting, and then this technical requirement documenting, designing and testing?
It is all about it. The requirement matrix is a document which allows us to, I will very slowly, okay? The requirement traceability matrix is a document. Requirement traceability matrix is a document which allows a business analyst or to the project team to track the business requirement document till the testing phase, and how each of the requirements are delivered and tracked by the technical team on the technical requirement document, the design document, and by the QA. It's a one-on-one match, and we can see it in the RTM document. All set? Everyone got it? Jay, you got it, right? You asked me first time to just repeat it. Okay, so that's what the RTM is all about. And you all are going to do the requirement traceability metrics for the 5010 project. So I would like to see that. So that is another assignment which you all have from the deliverable perspective. On top of that, there is something I want all of you to add to it, which is because you all are doing the healthcare training. So I want you guys to do that. I'll let you know what exactly it is. So in the latest market demand, very hot in the market. I also came to know recently, but I was just waiting for the information to be out there in the market from the analysis perspective, so that you guys can just go around and research about it. Otherwise it would have been very difficult. Okay, make a note of it. Go side by side with me. Okay, go to addiox.com. I already set this up for you guys. So it's all ready for you guys. Go there, click on the blog. So you will see addiox.com/addiox blog. When you go there, there is a link which says forum. You all see this. When you get to the forum, you see here there is something called navigators. I'm already logged in, so that's why you are seeing this information. You are not signed up, so you won't see that. When you click on navigators, you will see here is navigator approach will succeed. That is the assignment, okay? You guys have to study. This is very, very hot in the market. When you read, you will know how hot it is, okay? And if some of you are already following it, that would be very great. Already someone responded to this. So the question is navigator approach will succeed? How much help government will get by navigators for the Affordable Care Act? Find out. Do some research. Add your comments. If you have any, so let's say if Mani says something and Jay is not liking it, then Jay should contradict to that. If Sushmita says something, Sundeepa is not liking it, then she should contradict to it. And that's how it is going to work. I want you guys to spend time on this, and I am reviewing, I am going to just keep an eye on this. Okay, Mani. Tell me. Okay, hold on. I am going to, yes, Mani. What is the concern?
Yeah, my concern is, Susmita, I tried to register to Addiox, and it said it would send me the password, but I mean, like, I did it through 2 of my emails, but never got the password. So
you registered on the Addiox blog?
I think I did it on the main page, addiox.com.
I will have the team look into it.
Yeah, I did it 2 times, just making sure using 2 different email IDs, but I never got anything back like a password, because it said like first time users register. I went through that process, and so. Hello?
Okay, so this particular area is about knowledge base, okay? So there are 2 pieces of it. Over here, this is the registration page. This is a registration page for the blog and the forum, okay? So if you have registered here, you will get access to this part of the world, which is forum, blog. So if you registered on the blog, you will get access to blog, forum, all these areas. On the other hand, if you have registered on over here on the home page, on the addiox.com knowledge base perspective, then this is a knowledge base, and this is a paid service, okay? So you have to buy it, all these things. Then you get the folder access and everything. So Mani, you and Jay might have registered on the knowledge base, but since you have not bought any services, so you don't have access, okay?
Right, right. Okay.
Frankly telling you, I also do not know because that's not something what I handle. Okay, so you can call that number, whatever is on their website, and you will get to know. This number you call us, they will tell you how much it is. From the blog perspective, register over here or register over here. It will give you the overall access and you will be able to contribute. See, if you have something which you want to write it, share it. Okay? There are people, there are audiences who are reading these things. Okay? So the writing is always helpful. Always helpful. So try doing it and I will check with the team. Okay, I'll ask the technical team what exactly they are. So hold on. So always pay more attention towards this side. Okay, here you see FAQs, healthcare FAQs, healthcare news, use case, video tutorials. I don't know how many are there. Then business analyst FAQs, 5010 related, case study, claims, EDI, HIPAA, ICD-11, ICD-9, introduction. So you have a lot of material over here which you can read, and these are the lot of data to digest. Okay, and then there are some I do. Then I also have some other people who contribute to the blog. There are some other healthcare professionals. Okay, so this is an open blog. Okay, whoever wants, they can recommend that. So people like you if you contribute it and like that. So it's all about comes down to people like you. Okay, like Jay, Mani, it's all about you guys. Okay, so you, let's say over the time you are reading it, and if you like something, you really want to share it, go on, register it, become an author and share it. Let the people, let the world know about it. So you don't have to be expert to write all these things. Okay, if you know something, something is very helpful, you do that. I'll tell you, okay, something, I'll share something which I did in the past, okay, and it was way back. There is a website. The reason why I'm saying that this is something you guys should never know, hold on, something is, why did I got so much of teaching habit, okay, or I can say is a mentoring habit. Okay, there is a website. C-Shop Corner. Okay, C-Shop Corner. I will just look for. Okay. I started this particular website where I registered, okay, because I was working as a .NET coder, so I used to have lot of .NET writing habits. So this is where I started. So you will see how it started and where it has evolved. Okay, recently I got awarded by them because I was, even though I have taught maybe 2007, 2008 since, or maybe before that, I have not written anything, not contributed anything to this particular website, but recently I was awarded by them because of the contribution and the kind of a followers I have got on this website. So these are some of the articles which I have posted on this, okay. What I want to show you is, okay, see, this is just one. There are some articles, I'll show you, which have so much of popularity and the, hold on. I also don't remember. So these are the real-time projects. You see here how many people have downloaded it. This is all full-fledged code which was provided to them. And on top of that, people do come back and ask questions. Okay. So as you see here, the timeline, February 23rd, 2006. And today is 2013, we are in. So it is going to add up the values, okay? So you never know when you can become one of the author like this and people are following you, and you will get a passion, you know, when people are asking questions, you will see that, okay, really this is helpful because what you got from the community, you are returning it back. Okay, this is really something which you want to do. And this improves your writing skill as well as, you know, when you share something, you don't tend to forget that. So always try to do all these type of things, okay? Okay, coming back to any other question, guys? Any other question? Okay, Jay, I will unmute you. Go on.
So basically, when it comes to the RTM and the different things that you talk about, what I'm getting is, as long as, specifically the RTM, as long as I have the general structure and the example that you're showing, I don't need to know every single thing, but as long as I'm familiar, I have the general understanding, and I can learn from there, I'm willing to do more research, we should be fine. It's not about knowing everything and being perfect, but being familiar with the RTM and other things that you are teaching us, and through application we'll get more perfection. Is that basically it, just being familiar with this, not needing to know every single thing?
Yeah, so absolutely, Jay, you don't have to know each and everything. You just need to be aware of how this side of the world works as compared to this is your world, right? So this side you have to be well versed with. On the other hand side, this is just an overview you need to understand, because you are not going to fill out that side of an information.
Okay.
Okay?
Unless I'm doing the testing though, right?
Right, unless you do it.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Sandeepa. Repeat your question, please, Sandeepa.
Could you just tell us the, you know, the homeworks, like I believe you said about the navigation approach succeed, and there was homework on the 5010. We have to do the RDM, right?
Yes.
For the Addiox navigator, that one, could you tell us once again what we have to do?
Here is the homework, okay? This sheet will be there on your share drive. So the homework is number 1, BRD for 4010 to 5010 conversion. Number 2, RTM for the Addiox BRD. Number 3, navigator. Okay, and this is ACF, ACA. What is ACA? ACA is Affordable Care Act. Now, I won't give you much of the information over here. I will not give you much of the information here because I want you guys to find out what exactly it is, what the fund is all about, whether the fund is allocated to the state wherever you are. Those are the things I want you to find about and contribute to it. So this one is going to be shared in the share drive, and this will be downloadable document, so you guys can see that. So for Preeti, so this is for a BA. Okay, if you are a BA, you have to write a business requirement document. Okay. On the other hand, if you are a QA, you have to write the SIT cases, system integration test cases. You have to do this. This is for B and QA both. This is for B and QA both. All are okay. Now we all set, right? Yes, I gave the ACA yesterday. So you all know about ACA. The Navigator is a further extension of that. I'm going to put the links there so that you all know where exactly you need to go for that. Hold on. So you don't have to struggle much. All set? Sandeepa? Clear about the homework? Okay. Any other question before we conclude for today? I'm going to check the schedule, but I guess just wait for the link, okay? Because I'm going to check the schedule when it is. So we have that class on Monday, right? So Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So for this week we are good. Next week we are going to meet again on Monday. Next class will be on Monday. So you have time, 2 days. Prepare, okay? Okay guys, have a good luck and have a good night. Thanks, bye.